it?
But this is okay.
Okay.
But we don't need this one.
Okay. Leave it in.
Just to let you know that all the speakers are in the green room. Thank you. Merci.
It happens that she does it. Yeah, that's fine. She wanted to do it.
Comment tu peux les laisser là? Hein? Merci beaucoup, Sophie. T'aimes bien? T'as vu, il y a des enfants. Il y a des stylos, le papier. Après, quand ils vont commencer, moi je vais aller à la régie. Donc je te laisse.
Oh, so can you? This is a microphone check. This is a microphone check. This is a handy mic. These are the demeanor.
Yes.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a microphone check.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I was like, one, wait. Pendant la conférence, dès que la conférence commence, les gens...
Good morning, everyone. So 5 days left. It's all going so fast, but still with so much to look forward to. So today we welcome two new sports, weightlifting and taekwondo, which is taking over this magnificent sporting theater of the Grand Palais. We're looking forward to more stunning pictures from this venue. Another great example is the Château de Versailles, where the equestrian competition concluded yesterday, making way to modern pentathlon. In total, it was almost 197,000 people who have attended across 11 competition sessions in equestrian. It's also a good opportunity for me to remind you that the same iconic venues will also be at the heart of the Paralympic Games. So Versailles will be hosting para-equestrian. The Grand Palais will be the stage for wheelchair fencing and para-taekwondo. And we will also be able to see blind football in our spectacular temporary stadium under the Eiffel Tower. So this is a message for all those who have the feeling that they've missed out on the party. There are still opportunities to attend this incredible experience that will continue all the way until the 8th of September. Our theme today is digital and social engagement. I just want to take the opportunity to provide a few numbers and highlights from our Paris 2024 channels. We're very proud of the work of our social media team. I don't know if they are in the room. But just to share with you a few highlights, and I think that they really brought a distinctive approach to share the unique beauty and the energy of our games. So overall, our ecosystem has more than doubled in size over 2 weeks, going from 3.7 million to more than 8 million followers. And the content published by Paris 2024 has achieved more than 2.2 billion views, 134 million engagements. So those numbers are yet more proof of this massive popular enthusiasm for our games. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Anne. Good morning, everyone. Audience and commercial we will be looking at today. But just let me give you a couple of quick other broadcast figures for you. We have in Brazil, I like this one, live surfing in prime time on TV Globo delivered the highest audience of Paris 2024 with 20.78 million viewers, including a whale, for those that have seen that video, which is pretty amazing. A whale turned up to the event. NBC reports that powered by their streaming platform Peacock, Paris Olympic streaming hits 17 billion minutes, topping all prior games combined, nearly 4 times the Tokyo Games. Olympic social media engagements now past 11 billion, and our Olympic stakeholders, so that's TOPS, MRHs, IFs, OCOGs, NOCs, athletes, way over 15 billion social media engagements now, more than double for Paris. So some good news there. 23 gold medals in play today, and the President is on his way, probably arrived by now, at handball. And I think he's going to hockey, or he is going to hockey this evening. So let's get on to our topic of the day. I have with me Anne-Sophie Vumar, who is the Managing Director of IOC Television and Marketing Services, TMS, to those in the know, Yanis Exarchos, CEO of OBS, Olympic Broadcasting Services, and Alejandro Lifshitz, who's Associate Director, Digital Engagement and Marketing. So, without further ado, as I say, we will come, as usual, to all of our questions and answers afterwards, but let's start with Anne-Sophie.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to report that we're on track for more than half of the worldwide population to follow the Olympic Games Paris 2024. The numbers are very, very impressive. You mentioned a few of those, Mark, but I'll go into a few others. The immersive and innovative coverage being produced by OBS, and my colleague Yanis will speak about this very shortly, is attracting record audience on TV, digital, for all the platforms of our media rights holders around the world. We're still crunching numbers on the opening ceremony because we have to gather the entire world, but we expect the Paris 2024 opening ceremony to be the most streamed and followed ever. But more to follow once we have crunched all those numbers. Let's zoom in maybe a little bit into some of the territories. Let's start with France, the host countries. France Télévisions has reported that their audience of the opening ceremony is the best in French television history so far. So a reach of 24.4 million. So I think they're pretty happy with that. Certainly, if it was another channel that held, I think, the record before them. So this represents to date 92% of the French population has been reached by Olympic coverage so far to date. If we go back a little bit further, France and more widely across Europe, by day 10, Warner Brothers Discovery has already surpassed 140 million people in Europe on its various platforms and channels for the Olympics. And also on Sunday 4th, they had a record streaming day for WBD platform, 600 million minutes views. I repeat, 600 million views across their platform for that day, Sunday 4th of August. If we go to the US, you've stolen my thunder, Mark, on one of the sets, that's fine. Paris audiences are up 80% on Tokyo, on average 33 million viewers across the NBCU platform throughout the first 10 days. And I'll repeat because it's a good number. Led by Peacock, NBCU has already registered to date more than 17 billion streaming minutes, topping all summer and winter Olympics before on their digital platform. So quite incredible numbers. If we go to Asia, a couple of stats. So Paris 24 in China easily surpassed Tokyo 2020 numbers already in the terms of numbers of viewers and also minutes views on the China Media Group platform in China. Japan, just remember the previous Summer Olympic Games host country. So as of Sunday, 4th of August, 102.2 million viewers in Japan have watched the Olympics, which is over 87% of the potential viewership in Japan, which is comparable to the Tokyo Games pretty much at that time. So it's quite incredible if you consider that there's a 7-hour time zone difference with Japan and a 6-hour time difference with China. So very good numbers there. I could continue to give you figures from across the world, but I'm conscious of time. So, and I know you've had daily updates from Mark. So if there is any territory that you would like some more detailed number, we can provide you with those numbers.
They did have daily updates, but your figures were better than mine. So. Yanis, over
No,
to you.
I've not finished, Mark.
Oh, sorry.
One thing to note for those games is that we're seeing viewership is strong across television, digital, but also on social. And our media rights holders are putting more coverage than ever before on more platforms than ever before. So you see it everywhere today. One area that I wanted to note and that we've consciously worked on is how can we reach younger audiences and as well as non-sports fans that are not core sports fans. And we've worked with our partners, with celebrities, influencers and star athletes from the sports world, film and also music industry. We're working together with our media rights holders, worldwide Olympic partners also, and social media platforms to coordinate this. And I'm sure you've seen, the attention a certain US rapper is getting around the venues every day. This not only helps to drive the broadcast viewership, because that attention actually drives people to watch the games, but it also drives engagement, and I'm sure my colleague Alejandro will touch up on that. So in summary, to quote the IOC president in this room last Saturday, the numbers are through the roof, definitely. If you allow me, Mark, just before I hand over to Yanis and Alejandro, just a couple of words of how our top partners, sponsors are actually contributing into this overall viewership. So partners are also integral to promoting the Olympic Games and the values around the world through their innovative marketing campaigns in over 170 markets to billions of consumers. You will, Yanis and Alejandro will give you a few examples of digital collaborations that we have done with our partners, but they're also driving digital engagement through their own viewership with influencers, their own creators and influencers and celebrities, which is driving interest in the Games. Here in Paris, the worldwide Olympic partners are also once again integral to staging of the Olympic Games. Technology, services, products, expertise, timing, hydration, IT infrastructure, broadcast innovation, the partners underpin the staging of the Games. And you can see them probably everywhere on the street of Paris, through their showcasing, across the city, in the village, they're everywhere. So the partners are not only supporting the Games, but they're also supporting the athletes, and a big thank you to them for the support they provide to the Olympic movement on a year-round basis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne-Sophie. Yanis, to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, I wouldn't mind letting Anne-Sophie continue with these numbers. They are music to our ears. But seriously, bonjour à tous. Good morning, everybody. I would like to share with you a few thoughts around our broadcast and digital coverage of the Games. We could spend this morning and many mornings discussing about technical details and technology and production techniques, but I don't think that this is the important thing. Listening to Anne-Sophie, I wanted to say that when we started designing the coverage of the Games of Paris, one of the main objectives that we had in mind is to achieve, to do justice in the Olympics as one of the few audience aggregators that are left in the media world. You know, you work in media, you know very, very well that one of the major issues today is the ultimate disaggregation of audience. People consume content everywhere in many different parts, in many different ways. How do you make sense of all that? How do you manage to get the Olympics out there? This has been one of our fundamental objectives, and the way to go about doing it was obviously to try and produce in ways that would fit all these audiences, that would help all these audiences reach the Games. This is what has been behind our effort to produce so much and so diverse content here. By the end of the Games, we will have produced more than 11,000 hours of content. This is more than a year and 3 months worth of content in 17 days. The competition itself is something less than 4,000 hours, so we produce 3 times that. Why? Because audiences and different audiences want to see and want to experience the Games in different ways. They want to see things behind the scenes. They want to see features on athletes. They want to have fun moments. They want things that excite them. So this has been the effort to design this production in a way that there is a way of experiencing the Olympic Games regardless of whether you belong to a generation that was born before the Second World War or whether you belong to the A generation, which is coming now, which of course are very different ways. The second question was, how do you go about doing that efficiently, because we cannot keep on growing, and how do you go about delivering all that to our media rights holders and helping them put them out? And this is where, of course, technology has helped us a lot. I think that we're very lucky to be partnering with some of the major tech companies in the world. We have, with Alibaba, as you know, developed the OBS cloud. Now it's in 3rd phase. Cloud in these Games became the prominent means of distribution of content to broadcasters. It has surpassed satellite, it has surpassed fiber. And of course, this creates huge flexibilities and capacity to broadcasters to handle content and volumes of content that they do not regularly deal with. Also, other partners have helped us a lot in creating content which is far more exciting and explains the sport better, like all the things we have done around AI, things we have done with Omega, a lot of things we have done with Intel, who helped us also produce more content and more diverse content. Maybe tomorrow we have a meeting on technology, we can share a few of the experiences on that front. But at the heart of everything has been the inspiration that these games brought to us. From the very first moment, we thought that those games are very special indeed. Not just because they would be the first games after the pandemic, but because the French hosts had a vision which fully aligned with our vision and inspired us. Bringing the sports into the heart of the city, having this majestic ceremony into the heart of the city, enabling people to go to the venues, experience, come close to the biggest athletes of the world. And this is what has driven the essence of our production. To come closer to the athletes, to allow people to be visibly expressing their emotions and their sense of celebration for the unity of the world. This is what is driving our coverage. The tech tools are very important, but we don't cover the Olympics in order to showcase technology. We use technology in order to showcase the biggest athletes in the world, in the most beautiful city in the world, while the world comes together. This has been the driving thing behind our coverage. The same things have been done on the digital front, and Alejandro will explain to you and walk you through all the different parts of work that the digital teams have been doing in order to achieve exactly the same reach, the same engagement with the audiences out there. Alejandro.
Thank you very much, Yanis. Bonjour, good morning, buen día. Let me share some, outcomes so far of these amazing, wonderful games. What we found that the digital interest and engagement for the Olympics have increased globally compared to previous editions. According to Google Trends, Paris 2024 has generated about three times more search interest than past games. Our digital records have been broken across Olympic digital and social media platforms. Our Olympic web and app are visited by more than 20 million unique users, per day. People are looking for schedules, results, reading our live blog, enjoying our news, and much, much more. We have gained 27 million new followers on our Olympic handles during Paris 2024, adding an average of 1.5 million users per day. What is very important to us is that 78% of the new followers come from youth-focused platforms. We have already generated over 11 billion social engagement during Paris 2024 so far, 18% more than during entire Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Besides celebrating the amazing performance of the athletes, our digital coverage for Paris 2024 focuses on human stories of perseverance, togetherness, belonging, inspiration, and the joy that encapsulate the unique Olympic spirit of sport and modern sport. For instance, Simone Biles' incredible comeback shining a light on the importance of mental health, of the absolutely amazing Léon Marchand performance, inspiring not only France but the entire the world. If we extend this to the Olympic family, let me tell you that approximately 15 billion social engagement have been generated by the Olympic movement, national Olympic committees, athletes, international federation, organizing committees of Olympic Games, media right holders. More than 2 times than during Tokyo 2020. We have collaborated with our top sponsors to co-create content franchises that integrate our brands in an organic way. For instance, we have featured victory selfie with Samsung, records broken with Omega, Olympian warm-ups with Allianz, Aceisos first with Deloitte, and the wonderful song for the Olympics, produced in partnership with Coca-Cola, among others. It's all about innovation. Our web and app is offering personalization, games, maps, even a virtual meet and greet with athletes, gamifications, and more than 15 augmented reality filters. On social, We have elevated our coverage, implementing daily activation designed to boost people participation. This includes activities such as mini mascot and mini torch hunt, a spring camp, and we have even transformed the public furniture into sport equipment and much more. Content creators have been invited to the game by the IOC and partners, including NBC, Warner Brothers Discovery, and CBC, offering new perspective of the Olympic Games. In summary, all these digital initiatives contribute to increasing the reach of the Olympic Games and further engaging Olympic fans across the world, reaching new audiences. Thank you very much. Mark?
Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, everyone. Okay, let's concentrate to start with, at least. I think there will be a lot of questions to the team that are here. So, anyone want to start? Yeah, let's go down.
Rachel Axon from Sports Business Journal. Question for Anne-Sophie. We've seen a lot of top partner integration into the games that's been different. A lot of sponsors have commented to me about, Samsung phones on the podium, the LVMH in opening, the Coca-Cola gold bottles during opening. That's seems like a step forward from what the IOC has typically done or allowed. How might that be opening opportunities or changing how you think about those sponsorships going forward and what is available to the partners?
Thank you for the question. No, you're absolutely right. The games are, unique in other, major international sporting events for not having field of play advertising. Nevertheless, we've been historically trying to work with our partners to have a very smooth, organic integration and ways for us to be actually promoting their products in a way that helps with the delivery of the games or with the experience. And in the victory selfie is exactly that example. Athletes are not allowed to bring personal belongings or phones on the field of play, and by partnering with Samsung, then we're able to capture that very unique moment for them to keep that image for them to as a recording after the games. So we will continue to evolve in this respect and try to be smart about how we continue to integrate our partners into the delivery of the games.
Okay. Yeah. Two questions over here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Please go ahead, Jens.
Something on that, because it's a very interesting subject, regardless of the commercial components. It's important also to highlight that many of our partners in the IOC are very central to the delivery of the games themselves, and especially on the tech front, we have some of the tech giants of the world being part of the Olympic family. So when ourselves, for example, you're talking Samsung, we're thinking we would like to have, small cameras going on boats in sailing or in the boats in the opening ceremony and so on. It was obvious that we have a partner which is a giant, which enables billions of people every day to be capturing video at very high quality. So how can we use that? So beyond the commercial activation, also the participation and contribution of the partners becomes very, very organic. And I would say, judging from broadcast, this especially on the technology side is very, very evident. They have helped us a lot. We would go to these companies whether they are partners or not. The fact that they are, of course, helps very, very much. I think this is a very organic transition that we see, and in my view, it's the best way to also work with partners.
Okay, yeah, there were two questions up the back here, yeah, and then we'll come down to Graham. Yeah.
Hi, Tom Morgan at The Telegraph. I wanted to ask a question about India, actually, and their growth and increasing interest in the Olympics and the commercial impact of a country that has 1.4 billion people. It's a huge market for you. Today, we've actually had Prime Minister Modi say he's going to explore all options to appeal against the disqualification of a wrestler called Pogat. So that's one subject which I'd love you to address, but more as part of a wider question about are India ready to take off in the Olympics? They're likely to bid in 2036. Is it, we were talking about commercializing these games. Is this a massively exciting moment for you?
I'm happy to take the
Yeah,
the
I
point
mean,
of
just
the-
on the first one,
Sorry, it's a bit of a complicated question. Obviously, we've got two
split
things
the
at the same
question.
time.
Good transition.
the
I
response.
won't give you much of an answer to that because obviously I don't know the ins and outs of it. At the moment, it's between the International Federation and we see at games heads of state and government kind of making comments and so on, which are perfectly entitled to do. But I think we have to leave it to the rules and to the federation and see where that one goes. But to the substantive question.
Yeah, on commercial, for sure, India is one of the largest economy in the world. It's developing, and its GDP is increasing and developing really, really nicely. So for us, it is certainly a country that we believe has a lot of potential, including on commercial, and we would love to welcome a first new top sponsor from India, and I'm sure that this is going to happen very, very soon.
Yeah.
Hi there, Jerry Lawton from the Daily Star. Can you tell me about Snoop Dogg? You touched on him. He's everywhere. I mean, I don't know how he gets around, but he's everywhere. Can you tell me how he got involved? Who made the decision? Clearly, you're very happy with the impact he's having because he turns up in equestrian outfits and all over the place. How's he involved with the games, and what was the point of all that, really?
So Snoop Dogg is actually an NBC commentator, so he's been brought into the games by NBC. He's actually commenting for them. He is entertaining their guests. So I would suggest that any question for how we got into the games is probably best placed to NBC. But of course we love it because we see the impact that this has on engagement. It brings the games to other fans that just call sports fan, and we totally embrace that. And not only NBC, but others have also definitely gone into that trend, and we totally welcome it and embrace it and facilitate it.
Yeah. Graham down here from Associated Press, and then we'll come over here.
Thank you. Graham Dunbar from the AP. It's a question for Anne-Sophie. Picking up on a couple of other questions. It's been a sort of tempting narrative coming in that this is a sort of transition for the top program. Maybe one or more of the Japanese sponsors are going to move away, and you can expect the first ones from India. I don't know whether that's going to be Reliance or not. Qatar and Saudi Arabia coming in. Does it feel like that? Is it a transition period? Are you going to try to keep it at 15? And are these new sponsors coming in when they see the product placement, if we can call it that, happening, they see what's possible? Are you going to be under more pressure to push the limits a little bit there?
Well, I think it's a good moment to be in at the moment, and the top program has been a program that has been running for 40 years now, and over the 40 years, it's a very, very dynamic program. So partners come and go depending on their business strategy, the development of their industry, but also the needs that we have to partner with certain companies for the delivery of the games, as Yanis was mentioning. So, this is something that has been a natural evolution of the top program. With respect to specific cases, you will appreciate not comment on individual conversations.
Yeah, lady down here. Yeah.
Jenny Rentis from the New York Times. This question's for Mark. Obviously, this is a very different Olympics in relation to COVID than the last two. We have heard of several COVID cases as the games have progressed. Does the IOC know the number of positive COVID tests among athletes at these games? And related to that, if a team has a positive test, is there any mandatory reporting protocol for those cases?
Sorry to disappoint you. I think that's probably for
okay. Go ahead, Anne.
So I'll pass that one to Anne.
So, as an organizing committee, we are carefully monitoring the health situation in France with the national health authorities. The delegation have set specific protocols in order to monitor the situation. It's important to state that it's not only about COVID, it's any health situation that we are monitoring. Important for me also to state the fact that yesterday the WHO has shared numbers which were a compilation of media reports that should not be considered as official. But what we can say is that as an organizing committee, we are mainly focusing on providing best practice to the delegation, wearing masks, using sanitary station, but they are in charge of doing the monitoring for their team, the delegation. There is not a specific monitoring approach with the delegation. They can share the numbers with us, but usually they set their own protocol.
Okay, so you don't know for sure how many positive cases among athletes there have been?
We are monitoring only at the national level with the health authorities in order to see if we need to provide new protocols. But at this stage, we have to say that the numbers are quite low.
Okay, so there hasn't been any adjustments to the protocols. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, there was a question down. Oh, yeah, gentlemen, yeah, Adam, and then we'll come to everyone.
Hi there, Adam Blauwright from AFP. It's a question for Anne-Sophie. Could I get you to comment, please, on an article that's published today in the BMJ Global Health magazine? It's by two public health experts talking about your sponsorship deal with Coca-Cola. And in which they say that the IOC risks being complicit in an intensifying and global epidemic of poor nutrition, environmental degradation and climate change through your association with Coca-Cola. So could you comment on that and talk about your relationship with them? Thank you.
Sure. Well, let me say that we're incredibly proud of almost 100 years of partnership with the Coca-Cola company. And, from an IOC perspective, Coke is taking really responsible approach to supporting athletes, families, fans, and is taking an integral part of the delivery of the games. In relation to Paris and what they're doing here, they're providing a full mix and range of products, water, tea, coffee, juices, sparkling beverages. So there's a mix that has many sugar-free options, and also they're taking an approach which is responsible marketing policy with respect to reducing added sugar as part of their product mix.
Okay, thanks, Anne-Sophie. Yeah, there were two here, and then we'll come across the gentleman here. Yeah.
Alain Mercier, Frangeux, question for Anne-Sophie. You mentioned the work you did with influencers, celebrities to attract more non-sports fans. So is it the first time you do that, and what exactly is it? What kind of work you do? Thanks.
Maybe for Alejandro as well.
Yeah, we can do a combined response. Combined response with Ale. Yeah, for sure. This is not something that is new. I mean, we've done this in the past in previous games, but probably the scale of what we're doing today is more visible, and we've done certainly this in the past. What is also new is that it is done at different levels. So the media rights holder are doing it, the Worldwide Olympic sponsors are doing it, we're doing it, and Alejandro can tell us a little bit about what we do on our front. But it is definitely something that all of this combined together actually drives additional engagement and interest in the viewership of the game. So we think it's a win-win. It's a win-win solution.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anne-Sophie. Yes, we taking this approach to a never seen before level for the Olympic Games. Basically, we want to reach new audiences, and we found that all these creators are amazing bridge to build up our own channel to this new audience, because not only we have fresher approaches, but the tone and the way they tell the stories, is helping us a lot to reach the generation set. So far, the program have been developing absolutely amazing. I hope you've been enjoying all the pieces we've been producing for and publishing on our social media handles, and even on our website. You will find that we have a very fresh, youthful approach on the content we're producing on our website as well. So I would say this is something that's going to stay with us for a long time now, this kind of approach. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. Okay, gentlemen here, two down here, and then we'll come to the Daily Mail. Yeah.
Bonjour, Bruno Fraioli de sportbusiness.club. C'est une question pour Anne-Sophie Voumard. Je rebondis sur la question de ma consoeur au tout début, qui est l'exposition, la visibilité je ne sais pas si c'est les bons termes, des marques, des partenaires lors des Jeux Olympiques. Est-ce que je comprends bien cela? C'est-à-dire, on a vu là le téléphone Samsung avec le selfie, Louis Vuitton qui apporte les médailles, ces petits détails. Est-ce que c'est le chemin que vous voulez prendre au niveau marketing avec vos partenaires, placer comme ça les marques à droite et à gauche? Merci.
Tout à fait, c'est vraiment la direction que l'on souhaite prendre. On souhaite rester très unique dans le sens que nous sommes une propriété qui n'a pas de visibilité sur le field of play. Nous allons rester ce type de propriété. Par contre, nous voulons travailler avec nos partenaires afin de pouvoir intégrer leurs produits de manière, je dirais, plus organique dans la livraison des jeux, comme l'a très bien dit Yanis. Donc c'est une direction qui est tout à fait consciente et voulue, et nous aurons des évolutions lors des prochains jeux dans ce secteur.
Okay, yeah, two down here.
Yeah. Sacha Nokovic pour le journal L'Équipe. We can see a lot of content creators in stadium and different venues. How many accreditations did you give them? And what is your global influence strategy for Paris?
Is that to you? That's quite a difficult question to get the numbers. I don't know if Alejandro can help with the numbers.
The number of accreditation we
for influencers.
I think the fact that
it come back to you on that,
we're going to have to come back because, as I said earlier, those influencers and creators and celebrities, they come from different sources. So some have been invited by the media rights holders, some have been invited by the Worldwide Olympic partners, and some have been invited by us, some by national Olympic committees. So it's a wide range of people that come through different, I would say, sources. So I think we're going to have to come back to you on that.
But if I may add, specifically for broadcasters, because many broadcasters now, because of their extent of their rights, are using influencers or creators specifically for social and so on, the accreditation allocation that broadcasters have has not changed, so they have stayed within their quota. Now, one thing that is happening is that there is a little bit of an internal transition in this accreditation as we enable more broadcasters to do more things remotely that has to do with production, with technical things. They have the capacity to actually have more people on the creative front. And this is where you see a kind of a shift, which is a great thing. I mean, it's not about bringing equipment from all over the world. If we can help that, or having people doing here functions that they could do in another part of the world or back home, but enabling more creative production of content in the venues is what we want to do. But overall, this has not influenced the overall numbers of accreditation. I'm speaking about broadcast that I know it has remained, the quota has remained the same.
But they have a special space in venue.
The actual space in the venues, again, speaking about broadcasting, has actually been reduced compared to previous games.
Okay, thank you.
As has, by the way, dramatically the power consumption because of all this adoption of technology. It's worthwhile mentioning that in Paris, the overall power consumption for broadcast will be more or less 50% less than what it was in Rio, while we produce 40% more.
Good answer. Carlos, and then we'll come across here. I'm going to see if there's anyone over here.
Carlos Groman from Reuters. A question for Anne-Sophie. For the past 11 years, the IOC has a steady leadership. How does the potential change in leadership next year affect the timing and the momentum of this growing commercial interest that you've mentioned? Thank you.
Well, listen, we have partnerships that span over a very, very long time. So I would say that there's little impact in those partnerships because it's really about, what the games can bring to our official partners. So I would say little impact.
Yeah, I'm going to go over here first, and then we'll come.
Hi, it's Mike Keegan here from the Daily Mail. It's a question for Anne. There's been a lot of back and forth and issues with food in the athletes' village. I think the latest was one of the British athletes who claimed that there were worms in the fish, and obviously Sodexo have come back and said there's been no reports of that. I just wondered, as Paris 2024, are you happy with Sodexo and the service that they provided in the village?
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. Just to say, yeah, we're very proud of our partnership with Sodexo. They've provided more than 550 recipes for the athletes. We had very good feedbacks also listening to other feedbacks and trying to adapt. And I think that this is what Sodexo has shown in the last days. They've increased the level of proteins provided to the athletes. So yeah, very happy, but still listening till the end to the feedbacks of the delegation in order to improve and meet the needs the athletes have.
Thank you. Yeah, gentleman here.
Yeah, Matt Cunningham from Sky News in Australia. Mark, there are reports today that an Australian athlete has been arrested on suspected drug charges. I'm just wondering whether the IOC is aware of that. And
not, I'm afraid.
Follow-up question, what information is given to athletes around these sort of issues before the Games?
That would be the responsibility of the National Olympic Committee, so that one is probably better addressed to them. Obviously, we have all sorts of safeguarding officers and safeguarding methods and rules, but I think on that specific question, that's probably best directed to the Australian Olympic Committee. Yeah, I think Reuters wanted a question over here.
Hi, Jean Potter for Reuters. Question for Anne. I was at the boxing yesterday. It was a totally different experience compared to what we can see at the French Open tennis, obviously. I just wanted to know if you could share the attendance numbers, which seem to be very high, but we didn't get anything, and we would like to know. Thank you.
I was not in the stadium, but happy to experience it this evening. No, I don't have the last figures, but we can share it with you at the end of the press conference.
Yeah, okay. Adam, I think looks like we're coming to an end, but Adam, I think, and then that'll probably be it. Yeah, Adam.
Adam again here from AFP. A question for Anne, firstly, if I may, about Mohammed Yunus, who's been named interim president in Bangladesh. There have been reports that he was at the Paris Games, and I know he's had an advisory role. I was wondering if you could confirm that he has been here and has now left, and is on his way back to Dhaka, and talk to us a little bit about his role here in Paris. Thank you.
I can take that because, as you probably know, he received the Olympic laurel. So he's working with us, and he's been working with our athletes, particularly with the kind of post-athletic careers to career transition with social business, which is what he got his Nobel Peace Prize for. So we're quite close. I'm looking at someone nodding at me, but I think he has been here. Yes, can confirm he's here, but he's now back in Bangladesh. So yes, I can. Okay, I think that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. I've lost my notes, so I can't tell you what the thing is tomorrow. Oh, it's on AI and technology at Paris 2024. So thank you very much indeed. See you all same time, same place. Don't touch that dial. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry to interrupt you. You know what it's like sometimes. That was good. On Coke, I thought you were very good. Yeah, but really nice, very good. Nice. I mean, it's a good. By the way, as we say in PR, no, but as we say in PR, it has the.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Merci.
I was bloody happy Paris.